All right, Todd Pyro joining me this morning. Was this a smart political move to use tariffs against the Europeans in Greenland?
Political needs to be broken up into two things. On the one hand, with regard to negotiating with Europe, I hate to give Stu the same hackneyed answer we've been giving now for over 11 years. But this is the art of the deal. And while we all sit here on media and we say, oh, my God, he's getting people angry. Look at this fight. Look. He is looking many, many years into the future. He's not looking at the present. He sees a strategic advantage that we need for our own survival, years, decades, maybe even centuries down the road. This is all part of the art of the deal with regard to that. Let's watch it play out. But there are immediate concerns, and they are involving the midterms. And my only concern on behalf of the administration is that this appears to the American people that he's focused on other things than the economy. And that may be incorrect, but it could be a perception that could hurt him and Republicans in the midterms.
Stay with me for the hour, please, Todd. No, you're not?
Nope, I refuse.
Oh, you're going home just because it's a holiday?
I have one more question that I will answer, and then I will leave, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the day with my children, Stu, if that's okay with you.
Well, stay there and wait for the question, okay?
I love you, brother.
Futures sinking on the new Trump threat. There you can see him on the screen. Dow's off 400, Nasdaq down 355. Jeff Sica joining us this morning. I want to talk about Netflix. A very important company, big earnings report tomorrow. I just want to speculate for a second. If Netflix were to get Warner Brothers, as is proposed, if they did, is that a good fit? Does it make for a much more powerful Netflix?
Stuart, it does, and I think people have to realize we are on the precipice of the biggest media deal that's ever been done, the most significant deal that's ever been done. If Netflix does, in fact, get Warner Brothers, it gives them that massive content catalog, which only Warner Brothers controls thousands and thousands of titles. However, when Netflix announced this, that they wanted to acquire Warner Brothers, the stock dropped 20%. And what people are going to be looking for in the earnings report is how are they going to do this $82.7 billion merger. What I anticipate they're going to do it with about $52 billion in debt, somewhere around that. It's going to be higher interest rate debt. That's what investors should look at. All these people who are going to come on your show and say it's about subscriber numbers, it is laziness. It's not about subscriber numbers. It's about, can they get this deal done? Because last week they said they would do this deal potentially all cash. The stock jumped a little. So depending on what they say Wednesday, that's going to determine the direction of the stock. My opinion, it's going to be very ugly, short-term, long-term. I would accumulate as many shares as I could get on weakness, because it is going to make them the dominant player. They're going to be untouchable if this happens.
I don't know whether you've ever been to Davos for this World Economic Forum. I don't think you're going this year, that's for sure. But President Trump is, and he's going to make a big speech. Any idea what he's going to say?
I've always hated Davos. I've always thought the World Economic Forum was a joke. And now this is the first time last night I said, I wish I was going to Davos this week, because he is going to get up in front of everybody and establish his conquests and what he's done as president and how far he's brought us. I think he's going to make it very clear that either they are going to get in line or they are going to be on the wrong side of history. So I'm excited about Wednesday. I think it's going to be epic what he says to some of these people who don't particularly like us.
It's not too late to get your plane to fly over.
Exactly.
Jeff Sica on a Monday morning. Great stuff. Thank you, Jeff. Now it's time for Todd Pyro's question, which he's been...
I'll give you one more.
...patiently been seeing. The Democrat strategist, James Carville, he made this prediction for the 2026 midterms. Listen to this.
I'm looking at the 2026 elections, and frankly, it's going to be a wipeout. Your viewers need to know that the Democrats are going to pick up at a minimum 25 seats, maybe as high as 45. Wow. In all likelihood, the Democrats will carry the Senate. So, and I think we're shaping up very well for the 2028 election. But I don't know, 2030 is, I'm 81. That might be on the other side of my horizon, to be frank with you.
Get out of here. GOP wipeout? Supposing Trump's policies continue to be successful for the economy.
Before we get to the policies, we have to consider the source here. James Carville makes wild predictions, and oftentimes they are wildly incorrect. Didn't he have Kamala in a blowout in 2024 at one point? But there is a word of caution, and it's the similar word of caution that I gave in my earlier answer. We know that this economy, based upon the data, should explode like wildfire. And in many aspects, it is. The American people need to feel that, though, and they need to internalize it. That's why I think tax refund time is going to determine who wins these midterms. Because if people feel like, oh, my God, where did all this money come from? That's a good sign for the Republicans.
We're all waiting. Todd Pardo, now you can go back.
Thank you, sir.
Your wife and
Thanks
children
for my permission.
Good time. Right.